The instructions say that XY is a midsegment of LMN, triangle LMN. Suppose DE is called a quarter segment of LMN. What do you think an eighth segment would be? Make a conjecture about the properties of a quarter segment and an eighth segment. Use variable coordinates to verify your conjectures. Okay, so we want to put this on a coordinate plane in a way that is going to be convenient. And they've drawn it there for us. But figuring out what these coordinates can be is going to be challenging. Now remember, you're going to make this from a half to a quarter to an eighth. Okay, so you want to use some numbers that are going to be easy to deal with. And you're going to have to be able to find out what these midpoints are right here. This is a quarter segment, and then I'm going to draw in green the eighth segment. So we're kind of dividing and dividing and dividing here. And so when we're thinking about what we want our coordinates to be, we're going to have to get up at least to like 8, because we're going to be dividing it into an eighth segment. So I would say, well, what if we did it this way? What if we said this is 0, 0 here, and then this, remember we use h and k, so our x coordinate would be h. Let's say this is 16h and 0, and this one is 8h, 8k. Okay, that way we can find all of our midpoints. Now remember, to find your midpoints, you need to add up your coordinates and then divide by 2. So this coordinate right here would be, this coordinate right here would be 8h plus 0 over 2. So that would make it 4h over 8k plus 0, which would make it 4k. I have to make this one point in order to fit. Okay, and then the next one, when we find this, the coordinates of this next one, it's going to be 4k plus 0 over 2, which would be 2h, and 4h, I'm sorry, 4h plus 0 over 2, and then 4k plus 0 over 2 would make it 2k, and then this one here would be 2h plus 0 over 2, which would just make it h, and then 2k plus 0 over 2, which would just make it k. And then over on the other side, we've got, for this coordinate, 8h plus 16 is 8 plus 16 is 24, so that would be 12h. And then 8k plus 0, which is divided by 2, which is 4k. And then the next one would be 12 plus 16h, which is 28, divided by 2 is 14h. And then 4k plus 0 is 4, divided by 2 is 2k. And then this one's going to be 14 plus 16, which will make it 15h, and then 1k. Now we can find our distances more easily. Okay, so when we look for our distance of our half segment or our mid segment, we're going to do subtract your x's and your y's. So this is for your mid segment. Okay, subtract your h's and your x's and your y's. So you have 12h minus 4 is 8h squared plus 4k minus 4k is 0. So we're going to have the square root of 8h squared, which is just going to give us 8h. Okay, so the length of the first one was 16h. This is the third side is 16h, and this one's half of that. Okay, so 8h divided by 16h is 1/2. Okay, now when we go for our quarter segment, we're going to say x is minus y, so 14h minus 2h is 12h squared, plus 0 again, because 2k minus 2k is 0. So that's going to give us the square root of 12h squared, which is just 12h. And if you put 12h over 16, and you put that in lowest terms, you get 3/4. So our quarter segment is 3/4 of our last leg. And then we do our 8th segment. We can do 15h minus h, which is just 14h squared, plus 0 squared. That's just going to give us 14h. And we put 14h over 16h, we get 7/8.